it's working. Let's see if the microphone's working today. Mic is up. Seems like it. Alrighty. Sweet. Open here in 2 minutes. I'm expecting some pullback possibly into those overnight lows pretty quickly. We are in an area of interest for me to short. I want to see maybe a pop up. Obviously, VWAP you see is kind of close. Sitting right on it. I would like to push up into that range up there first and then look to sell through the lows. I am going to try and do a couple combines, past combines today. Take a break from the XFAs. XFAs have been beaten down, so we're going to try and get a new one here. Let's see what we can do. Watching Delta getting heavy already here before the market even opens. Pretty indicative to the sellers wanting to come in. I don't know if they're going to come. I wanted to sell it up in here. I wanted this wedge to continue on up until we opened, but it did not. So we are now just going to wait and see what happens. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. I hope everybody has a great Friday and heads into the weekend profitable. Like I said, I want to look to start grabbing a couple more XFAs to get myself another little buffer in the grand scheme of things. Let's see if that's the high there. And then the low for the S&Ps. This is already starting to go to the downside without any help, but S&Ps is popping higher, so hopefully that helps us here. S&Ps could push through that high. Then NQ can give us a opening range short through the low. I am going to be a little aggressive in these accounts. I have two that I'm going to copy. One, if I hit the $1,500 target, it's really only need $1,400. I'll pass this one. The other one is a brand new $50,000 account, so I'll need 2 days on that. So I'll be done after $1,500 on the day and see what we can do moving into Monday. NVIDIA selling off some. That opening range looking like it wants to create itself right here. S&P's relatively strong compared to that NASDAQ. Russell pushing high side. I don't think Russell ever ended up making new all-time highs, so it does still have some room. Opening range here is now 60 ticks, which is it's reasonable. I could go risk over that, and I can sell through the low of that if I wanted to, but I want to pop it up a little bit higher. No, I want it to get heavy. I'm going to sell two through that low at 50. I would like it to pop into 65s. 65s would be a nice area for it to get into and then rotate down through that opening range low, 30-minute low. Previous candle 30-minute low is 50-50. So I'm going to leave that stop there. See if I can rotate down to previous day lows. If we can get up over that overnight high, that'd be even better. I think, like I said, 65, 70, that area right there where we just wicked prior to the open. Been missing these quick first opening range moves, and I don't want to do that. I want to try and catch it today. Try and get, like I said, trying to get this second funded up and running. I've drawn down that other XFA you've seen over the past week, 2 weeks really. This is the 30th trading day in the XFA. We ran it up all the way over $4,000. Took a withdrawal, and then since that withdrawal, I mean, we were eligible for a new payout, but don't have any more money left in that account really to take out. So we're going to look to see if we can get ourselves another XFA or two before the end of next week. Hopefully this one we can get funded by today, and then next week we'll look to finish off the second one and then look to have 3 at a time. Friday morning here. Also, a lot of times with the break of the opening range, the NQs will trend. So if we can break through this low, see if it'll be the hold. If not, watch for the rotation back through the opening range high up to that VWAP area and then beyond. But I think the heaviness is coming in.
Order filled.
There we go. heaviness coming in. I'll take one off at that previous day low, and I want this to come into here. That was the opening range breakdown trade that I wanted to take. If it stops us out of VWAP, it stops us out of VWAP, but I'm going to use that just as the first idea of the day of the opening range, being a Friday, being heavy, seeing if it wants to kind of crack. NVIDIA not helping the cause, though. Did give it a little bit of a pop. There we go. Come on, push down a little bit more, get a little heavier. If it can get heavy here, we should be able to get that first limit off at the previous day low. I'm going to get over this candle. I don't want to risk more than that. I'm on with 2 contracts, right? We're at even. So let's see. Now it's just a matter of how much we can make. If we can get that first one off, then we should be able to get through that previous day low. There it goes. It's heavy. It seems like it wants to get heavier. S&P's is getting heavy. There we go. Push down. One more tick. Come on now. One more tick to get us off that first contract. I'm going to take 160 on that. If it gets filled, I'll go to break even on this contract. Craziness. Not going to fill me on that, huh? What's that? That's that previous day low. I wanted to see if we could flush that. Didn't want to get to it. There's one off. Okay, so we have one off. Secured $200 on that. I'm going to go over that candle there on the second contract. See if we can get a flush of the previous day low. Get down into overnight lows. So there's your first trade of the day. Finished 234 on that trade there. Nice, quick, easy tag through that opening range low into previous day low. Right to the tick. We didn't take both contracts off just in case the runner was on. It wasn't on quite yet. So watch out for that failure of the opening range low. Heavy delta, but you got that turn. We're accepting back into the opening range. If it closes inside that opening range, watch for that rotation to back to the high side. If not, if you can reject it, still could push lower. Alrighty. So far, so good. Good start to the session. Up 230. Not far off. Just shy of 1,200. Oh, just under. Yeah, just shy of 1,200 away from securing this next XFA. And like I said, I'm going to stay on here on Friday. I'm going to trade the setups that I see. And then I'm going to see if I can grab one more XFA before hopping back on trading. I want to be fully ready and set to go with 3 XFAs before I start trading them again, because I got to get back in a rhythm, and I think just hammering into those XFAs is just a terrible idea. Over the last 2 weeks, just depleted everything that I had on those. So we're just going to get back into a nice little rhythm into these combines, pass a few more combines, get you guys in the trading rhythm, and go from there. Like I said, I hope everybody's having a good day. We built up a pretty good group yesterday. Called out a lot of really good trades yesterday. I think this does stay a little heavy. If it breaks through this previous day low, watch for the divergence, right? That long strategy that we have. I'm going to show you why I liked that short there too. Control 8. I drew this zone up last night when I got home from work. Really just the liquidity here, the base of these candles, the bodies here, everything kind of telling us that this area is a very interesting area for liquidity, right? So it's going to be bullish above it, bearish below it. If we get up into that overnight high, see if we fail back and accept into this range, because that means that it's going to close below some of these other candles and look to rotate back down into that 18,588 isn't out of the realm of possibility. Say 600s. Could be a good spot for people to be looking for bounces, and that's why I like those areas for interest. And obviously I have that purple zone right there, so not very far away as far as it looks in the other charts, right? Alrighty. We took a perfect bottom tick on that profit, and now it's bouncing. We're going to watch this opening range, see if that's going to be the opening range breakout or if it's going to fail that high, rotate back through this low. If we rotate back through this low again, a short's not a terrible idea once again through the low. Usually it leaves one of these areas behind, right? And a lot of times it's manipulative around the high or the low, and then it pops or it flushes. So we're going to watch to see what we get. Delta is acting relatively strong, trying to push up, still on top of VWAP. The Russell trying to wick down. S&P is trying to push down. NQ relatively strong, right? Do the same thing again if it happens. Although NVIDIA went straight up off of 939, so that could lead to this continuing to rally all the way up to 953. I think NVIDIA gets, at least if it wants to continue to be bullish over this pre-market high. Pre-market high for NVIDIA is 949.02. The area of interest from yesterday, 951.67. Delta's flattening out. You got Delta flattening out, price trying to pull back. VWAP's acting as support, but if VWAP cracks and this low cracks here, I think you do have a good possibility that the low of this kind of cracks down, at least into, like I said, that 31 bottom end of VWAP. Overnight low, previous day low, I should say. Again, I'm going to sell 2 through 50, and then I'm going to see if I can get one off again. And then we'll get the break even, and then we'll do the same thing that we did the first time. And then see if we can get that actual flush to go through. But we're sitting nice, sitting up 230 on this. We can still pretty much risk what we made on that trade to catch another attempt at it to see if it'll give us a proper flush. Delta not pushing though the way price is. I have my stop entry just below there. Russell leading us downside. S&P is also looking to crack through the low here at 53.19. I'm going to sell through here. Selling through here, 2 contracts, same deal. See if we can get one off at that previous day low again, and then get to even, and then see how far, if we can, if anything, get down and into the previous day, overnight low, I should say. But if it grabs this and just wicks us out, then it's all right. We're just looking to see if we can crack that range. Obviously, looking like it's getting heavy. The opening range low is acting as support, though. Delta's starting to act in our direction. And it wants to peek its head over VWAP, it looks like. It's holding below it. Get that contract off. I'm going to get to even now, because if it's going to make a higher low, I want to be out.
Order
Yeah,
filled.
I went flat on that. Probably going to give you a nice flush here. Previous day low, but it could be a higher low. Nice little higher low setup. The way S&Ps led us to not hold the breakdown is why I got out. You can see Delta didn't push down as deep as price did, so we have a Delta confluence, not necessarily a divergence, but buyers are getting more aggressive down here. Watch for this opening range high break now that grabbed the liquidity there, and see if it's going to give you any sort of information. Otherwise, we're just going to kind of wait and see if there's anything that we can get here. I know it says previous day close, but I want this to be the overnight high. Well, I can switch that. Overnight high is there. Previous day low. It's right down there. Is there another? All right, so there we go. It's getting heavy through that level. Delta's now starting to act. S&P's is going. I think maybe you cracked through the previous day low here. Continue on to the overnight low. I anticipate that the Friday trend type day comes in, and if it does, it seems like it wants to come to the downside, right? We're holding this. We opened up, came back above, popped it. Now we flushed it a second time. Could probably get to that previous day low. See what happens at previous day lows. Previous day lows was basically the close of yesterday. Today is Friday. Right? This is the close right here. Wick down on it. Close there. In this zone here. Down even into, let's call it 23. Could act as that 33, I should say. 33. But just watch that level. It's also a key level as far as where we closed completely. We gapped up, came back, retested it, and popped up. So let this thing tell you where it wants to go. Don't just kind of rush into it. I took the first one. We took it off, bottom ticked it. Solid trade there. Up 234 on this combine. Let's see if we can get a couple more trades in on the combine. A volume break of this low should give you some follow through, so I will sell through the previous day low. See if we can get a flush of that down into the overnight low. Nvidia getting heavy into the 939 level.
Order fill.
Oh, okay. Delayed order fill. S&P's is heavier compared to the NQ. See if the NQ will follow through this previous day low on this touch. If not, we are going to get stopped out. 4 hour loss here. Yeah. All right, we're out even. The fills are getting a little weird right now, so I'm going to kind of refresh this, see if the data is getting a little funky. I didn't like that very much. Previous day low break. We'll look to get this time. Down through that low. We're 1-1 and a break even. So if we do get through this low, like I said, down to 33 is interesting to watch. Previous day low, will it hold? Based on yesterday's price action, very grinding to the downside, pushed it, held it here, flushed it on the overnight. I think we could get down to overnight lows, and that's where I want to see if this is going to take us. Realistically, we should have probably stayed in that one, but we would have been stopped out for a full loss, so good on us for a break even on that trade. Want to take us through that 33. Down through 33. Let's see what Delta's doing. Made new lows. Price made new lows. Popping up a little bit. Wicking into that opening range low. Grabbing some sellers there, possibly. If not, if it gets in here and accepts, we'll see if it rotates through. But it seems like it just kind of wants to reject that level. Delta is kind of acting in the same way that price is. The S&P's is pushing up into their opening range as well. So that was a little pop in the S&P's. Russell bouncing off 2104. Also trying to push up into that opening range. So maybe there's some buyers stepping in here. A little aggressive buying coming in. But if there's any sort of aggressive seller, then this is where I want to get into. A Friday type continuation. Leave that opening range high at the high and push us down through and into those lows. Come on now. Does it go this time now that we're down through and holding below opening range lows? If it can crack through this previous day low and hold, down to 33 is quick, and then let's see if we can get through this lower band of VWAP down into overnight lows. You can see the heaviness coming into this previous day low. Normally I look to fade it, but I think I want to get into the overnight low, especially with the opening range break and hold. If it does want to hold here, then it'll pop up. Shouldn't get us filled. If it doesn't, if it wants to give you a heavy flush, then we should be okay. If we do pop up into 60s, that's a good short area as well. But I think this could give you a little bit of a flush through this level, down to 33 at least to start. And then see what happens at 33. So I am going in on these these combines with 2 contracts on my entries, looking to get 1 contract off at key levels and see if I can catch a runner with the other one. And that's usually how I pass these. I probably should take that into the XFA so I can maximize some of those wins on those days, but it is what it is. I start out slow, build that buffer, but we might look to do a little bit something different with these if we get a few of them passed. So I will keep you informed in what I'm doing once I pass these accounts. Not trying to take a full $300 loser. I'll take a 230. If it pops back up over this, it probably squeezes anyway. So hopefully we can get this to give a good flush. It got just on top of 33, 34 quarters. I think 33 still wants to get touched. If 33 can break, then I think we get a nice good flush down to the overnight low. Leaving this opening range low behind. Opening range low is 48.75. That's the real area of where I would like to be stopped out, but 48 is up here. It's too much risk for this account, for this trade idea. So we're gonna let it go, see if it'll go, but it's kind of holding up, giving you strong push upside, and we're down. All right, so we're gonna flatten that out. Could be the liquidity grab. Could be our normal strategy looking to play out, but I still see Delta being heavy down here, down through those levels, so I don't see it as a divergence. Just takes one of these trades to kind of really run on you to get you into one of these accounts. But you are getting this little bit of a wedge here. Little upper support trying to crack right now. A break above this opening range. Now it looks good. Good morning, Charlie SN. How are we doing today? Trying to play this level here a little bit. NVIDIA just cracked through the 939.11 level. Looking to grab a couple more XFAs on this Top Step X platform here. Grab me a short squeeze espresso. Now I'm ready to go. NVIDIA breaking lows. I like that to help us out through this. Took one winner, took one break even, took another loser, and now I took a second loser, but I think we can get this filled. We could possibly get this down into overnight lows and see what happens from there. I don't want to risk above that because I think if that goes, that's that upper end of that trend line. Above here, upper end of this trend line. And if that cracks, then the squeeze is probably on. But like I said, NVIDIA breaking through that 939, trying to hold the bottom end of that opening, the pre-market lows. If it could crack that pre-market low, then this should give us the confluence to push down through this level. Like I said, that's just my thought on this going to the downside. It's been pretty heavy. We're holding opening range lows. This is yesterday's low, previous day low. Early on in the session, it is holding. So like I said, I'm willing to take a couple paper cut losses on it before catching one of these bigger moves. I did mention this upper end trend line here. If it does give up, you could probably get a squeeze up into that VWAP. So just be mindful of that. But if we can get the flush to come in, then I want to be involved in it. And that's why I keep getting entered into that short through that previous day low. But it looks like it wants to try and get long there. You can see it's trying to break through that upper end of this level here. Delta, you can see cumulative delta is still heavy on the lows. If delta starts to give you a really heavy push like it just did, we should be able to get the break this time. If price will just follow through with delta. We're just holding that low, previous day low holding. Delta is getting really heavy. Hopefully we can get down into, like I said, that 28 is that first area with this VWAP band. I think 33 is the key support level. 33 right here. If we can get through 33, it should flush pretty easily. 33 seems like it's the real line in the sand. But with that big delta push and price not going quite yet, that is slightly concerning that it might just pop. But we should see if price will catch up or not. Willing to take the chance on it, see if it'll go. There's more heavy delta. Heavier aggressive sellers pushing in. 33 is here. 33 went. And now we're down through that low there. I don't want to be in. I'll be break even. If that's just going to be a wick of 33, then I want to be out. But I want to see if this will get through and hold through 33. If we could hold 33, the Maximus is yelling in the other room. You probably hear him. Nope, we're flat. So we're going to stay even on that one. That looks like it's going to be a nice... You could see that the delta was pushing down. Price did not follow through. There is some sort of buyer here. I would like to take the long through here. If it goes... Why are you not letting me? Oh, not 3. The lack of follow through because of that delta push and price not going concerns me. So like I said, I want to see if it'll pop it and give us that return back up, at least to VWAP, but I don't know if we're going to get that. So I'm willing to take my previous day low fade. That's my normal strategy anyway. Get a fade of the levels and rotate them back at least to the VWAP area. So that's the goal here. We're looking to get 1 or 2 decent trades on past the this combine today, and then hopefully past the other one that I'm copying on to Monday or Tuesday. I'm not going to really care. It's sometime next week. My XFA, I've ground it down to basically having 0 buffer. Got myself into some trouble onto it last week. May has just been a grind of a month, I think, for a lot of people. April we built up $4,000, just over $4,000. Took a payout. Once we took the payout, everything after that's been sort of up and down and up and down and up and down. We've got enough days to take a payout, but we have no more money to pay out. So we're gonna look to build up a few XFAs this time. Instead of just trading one, trade a few, and make sure we have a constant flow of. There's that break of it. I'm going to get rid of those. So there's that actual flush, what I was looking for. I just got myself stopped out at even based on the way price wasn't following through with Delta, but you could see the heaviness still coming in. Should be fine off the overnight low. We could have passed on this, but we decided to chop ourselves a little bit, and we're down a small one loser on the day. 67, 64, 65% short. I'll leave this by here. See that 33 level is that very, very low. We just cracked that 33 finally, and then once 33 went for real the second time through, it gave you that really nice flush. Not a lot of resistance once it actually did break. So at least you're seeing, kind of what I'm seeing on that end of the reasoning behind this. If it does give this up now and holds 33, this is a failed breakout, sweep of the low, rotate back maybe to overnight highs. If we get into those overnight highs, watch out for the break of them. But I really would like to see that 65 to 70 level hold, so somewhere up in this area. So I'm going to look to see if I can take the first up to VWAP. Then after VWAP, let's see if we can take it up and through. Broke through that overhead resistance. Previous day low is that breakdown point. If we can crack through that, should be able to give ourselves up to VWAP, and then beyond that, you got to just wait and see.
Order filled.
I'm willing to risk below that 33 because I find that to be the flush point. If this is going to break and go, if this is going to be a failed breakdown follow through, then I'm going to watch this up. The first target, like I said, 48.75 is the opening range low. If that's going to be where we're going to run into some resistance, watch that area for resistance. If it cracks through that, I think VWAP gets tagged. And then VWAP, after VWAP, we're looking at, I want 1500 to pass. NVIDIA is still holding that 939, but just accepted it back into the pre-market range, but now rejecting it a little bit. So possibly look to see if this will rotate down. It's funny because I looked to take the long through the previous day low as a rejection. 33, like I said, was the flush point, but also could act as support again. So that's why I have my stop below down, whole point below 33 to give myself a little bit of space on it. I am trading 2 contracts. I'm going to see if I can trail one out. Maybe possibly look to see if I can get up into that 75 just as a bounce. Not going fast enough for my liking. Delta flattening out here. If I start to see a tick down in Delta, I will like to get out of this. But it looks like Delta's starting to creep up with price. So we are starting to get a little bit of buyers stepping in here. We are back in the value area low. 936 is the value area low. There is a volume node here at 41. That should be a crack break point. If it gets through 41, then it probably wants to get through 48, or 248, I should say, because there's some low volume behind that. If it gets to 48, I'll go to even. Nah, I'll wait on that. I'll get one off up here. I'll wait. There you go, up to 40. There's your winner there. Break even now. See if we can get up over that 48. There's the squeeze push. I'll sell one off there at 52 at the VWAP and then see if I can get anything else on this. It's got to get through that 48.75. There's the failed previous day low breakdown return to VWAP play that I play pretty much every single day, depending on which direction, either fail at the high, fail at the low. So we should be able to get one off. There's one off. And now let's see if we can get a runner on this one. I would like to see a full rotation to overnight high, but that's wait and see kind of territory. These are the kind of moves that I really like to see kind of play out. day in and day out. VWAP will act as a magnet. So I use it as a target more so than I use it as an entry criteria. If we start to get up into 65, 70, that's when I'm going to start to really look to see if I might run into some resistance there. 71.25 is something that I'm interested in right there. 71.25. I am at even. If it comes back, stops me out, at least I took off the one at the VWAP area. But then I allow the rest of this to kind of push on up and see if I can get a little bit more out of it. 71 quarters is a good area for me to be thinking about for a target if it gets through VWAP. If it doesn't get through VWAP, then we're not going to, we'll rotate all the way down again. At least we'll be at even or, just shy of even. 41 I mentioned was that node. We just broke it and came right back to it. That's the volume nodes. Volume nodes like to get utilized here. Delta creeping down. Hopefully it can creep back up a little bit and get us a nice little pop through that VWAP. Got to get back in this opening range. If we get back in the opening range, you got the point of control here. Tons of volume has been executed there. Get through VWAP. Looks like it wants to try and get through VWAP. Not getting a whole lot of follow through in Delta, so you're not getting a huge push. What's tilt 72% long. That to me gives me, I got to at least secure enough to get myself to back to square on the day. With that heavy tilt, kind of indicates to me that buyers are trying to step in at a retail at a level that might be a place where people on the other end might want to sell. So that's why I'm going to just mitigate a little bit. But we already secured ourselves back to even. So we're pretty much just let this trade go from here. If it wants to go, it goes. If it stops me out, that's cool too. We're basically square for the day. As I mentioned, I'm trading combines today because I've just been in such a slump with my XFA that I'm looking to get a couple XFAs, get myself one or two more funded by the end of next week, focus on everything as a group, manage it as a whole, and then go. There's the stop filled. There we go. So we're back even. You see that now. That's the reason I stopped there, because you start to get that really heavy push downside now that 41 level went. So you can see that that's a really important area of interest. I'm going to just keep an eye on this overnight low, see if that's going to get tagged or not. The original play was the breakdown of the previous day low. So this return back to VWAP. I'm not going to take this right away. I think 33 still wants to hold for the time being. Maybe I get a little bit heavier. See the Delta push right here, trying to make new lows on Delta. Price is still up a bit higher, so you are diverging slightly with price to Delta. However, I think if this low goes on Delta, then price might catch up. But we got to wait and see, because like I said, 33 is going to be a strong area. It's Friday. If you made money this week, don't lose it. If you didn't make money this week, it's okay. Just get back to the drawing board like I'm doing currently, looking to just get myself back in a groove on a couple combines, let myself build up a few more funded accounts, and then we'll start really hammering into some of these. All the ideas are going to be the same. Strategy is going to be the same. For the most part, I'm just going to be slightly more aggressive on some of these failed moves. I'll trade more than one contract at a time, look to shed one here and there like I just did. I shed one, and then it gave the other one a chance to break to the highs. Sorry. You can see that higher low wicked off at 33. Delta still trying to push down through lows, so you're getting the opposite divergence. We always talk about the Delta divergence where Delta doesn't come in, but at the same time, you have the price divergence as well, where price is still holding up strong, even though there's aggressive sellers trying to step in and be more aggressive, right? So one of these is going to catch up to the other. Which one is going to be? Is price going to break this little lower high, higher low, and then crack? Because Delta's just aggressively pushing to the downside. Does feel that way. With the Russell just breaking through the previous day low. I mean, not previous day low. Opening range low. S&P's dancing with the low of the day. Doesn't seem like that wants to go with the aggressive sellers coming in. So you do have some aggressive sellers, larger size getting filled at 628, 630s. So you do have bigger size coming in on the sells here at this time. So it's just knocking its head on the door, knocking its head on the door. When is it going to break? Which is going to break? Is it going to break to the downside, or are we going to spike? There's a break. Still heavy delta. Price still diverging pretty much. Right off that lower band of VWAP. That is quite telling. NVIDIA cracked and flushed that 939 level really, really nicely. You can see right here, NVIDIA broke through this key level, also broke through pre-market lows, came back, retested this level to a tick, and then now is rotating downside. Does have room down into this consolidation, to the bottom end of this consolidation, and into 918 before I would expect a bounce. So maybe that's kind of what we're looking at here. I think down into 600 for the NQs is what I was looking at originally. Not sure what Microsoft is. It flushed 419.27, is now trying to catch a bounce. I'll try one more long through here based on the price wanting to get through this level and Delta acting so heavy, yet it didn't follow through, right? So standard deviation of VWAP, bounce play, previous day low, holding of the 33 level. The hold of 33 makes me think that we might get a pop in this price, especially with Microsoft giving you a bounce. Give me a long up into VWAP again. Take another quick hit on it. If it does want to break through this previous day low, I feel like that's the harder trade at the moment. Just very interesting the way Delta was acting and price just not catching up. If it does go now, then potentially look for that full good flush. There we go. There's a flush. I'm going to get rid of this buyer here. I think we continue to grind down the rest of the day. For now, for the time being, let's watch these overnight lows, see if we get any sort of divergence strategy there at the overnight low level for the rotation. But I think 600 is a good target for the downside. 600 down to 588. So 588, this purple zone here is a good area for a bounce. Eyeball that overnight low. Watch for a flush down to 600, down into 588. If you get into those areas, I would expect buyers to be interested in longs here. So it's a heavier tilt to the short side. Just be mindful of this area. I think that somewhere around here there is a big buyer looking to buy this up. Let's see if we can see it on the surface. So let's see. There are decent size down here. 122 lot at 605, 150 lot at 615. They're just flashing these orders. 150, 150. Who knows if they're going to just pull price down there and then have you buy up at that level. It looks like 615. There's a huge buyer sitting on the bid there. Overhead, we really don't have any huge orders sitting there. 63, 18. Cumulatively, there's decent size up here, but more so, there's just a larger, bigger player flashing size down at 615. So 615, basically that overnight low. Watching that. I gotta grab my sweatshirt. Give me 1 minute. Where are you going? All right, sweatshirt on. A little chilly in the office. Microsoft still catching a bid there. Previous day low could act as the area of where there's a seller, but I said there's somebody down here flashing that larger size at 620. Delta's starting to creep back up. Price trying to do the same, but I would be cautious on this breakout. Microsoft's pretty strong. With Microsoft being so strong, I'll buy 2 here, see if I can get up to VWAP. Might just look for that quick little grab. If it's going to continue to sell through that previous day, you would expect to hold that level, the 33. Everything else feels heavy, but I feel like the NQ is relatively strong, even though it broke through previous day lows. Microsoft wants to go high side. It just caught a little resistance at 420, but if it could get up into 420.38, that's that yesterday's low that I could pop back into.
Order filled.
This is looking to just catch a quick squeeze, pop up to the high side. And this time I'm going to trail my entire position up to VWAP if I can get there. At 41 acting as that liquidity zone, that high volume node target. 49, I want to squeeze up into 49s. That's going to get heavy there. Little whippy action there. Price sped up a little bit. There is a lot of volume here at this level. So, as I mentioned, I kind of wanted to just take one more chance at it, see if it'll give that pop through, just based on the fact that Delta was acting so heavy and price wasn't continuing through it. If it's going to stop me out, like I said, another quick loser is fine. I could take it, take the heat on it, and take one good winner on this and end up passing the combine today. So, I'm looking to just catch these ideas as they play out, right? With the way that Delta was acting so heavy through here, and then price just did not quite follow through. You got the divergence, the opposite end. You got a higher low in price. If we can get back through this high here, we should be able to mitigate, get up into that VWAP area, and then hopefully if we can crack VWAP this time, you get a nice little squeeze up to that, value area high. At least, maybe upper band of VWAP there, 77. And then maybe see how high you can go on a Friday. Nope, we're out. Flat. Flatten that. That got heavy quick. So there's that big flush there to the downside. Quick little, I'm going back and forth with the even, down one, even, down one. Still playing this previous day low level. Holding this upper. See, the divergence is here where price is low, higher low, higher low. Delta is still trying to play out. Now it's trying to make higher lows. Does it hold this level a third time? Give you the chance to get through here again. These are things that I'm looking at as far as Delta. As far as price is concerned, holding up relatively strong compared to that. That was a nice liquidity grab. If it was going to be a fast, whippy action to the downside, get shorts involved, and then pop it back up, I would expect it to happen quickly. If not, then it's going to stay short down through this level here, down through 28, down through the overnight lows. As I'm me just talking myself through a combine here. As I mentioned, I have 2 combines running here. One of these I could potentially pass today. The other one would have to trade another day. The XFA is drawn down to a point where I don't necessarily want to trade it until I can build up these other XFAs and have a good little bit of a comfort zone. So I'm going to pass a few combines, see what happens. S&P is trying to tick up here at 19. Delta now not acting as heavy, so you got to slow down here as price tried to push through this low, didn't quite make it to overnight lows. Looking to creep its head back over the previous day low, trying to either accept into yesterday's value area, yesterday's entire range, or are we going to make our own new range today down to the downside through previous day lows, continuing down through overnight lows, and then seeing where it ends up, right? That's really what you need to see. Is it going to expand through these zones, or is it going to push back up into it and create like an inside day or a rally the other direction? Honestly, I wanted this short from up here, but we didn't get there during the, we pulled back off of that before market opened. So I don't like to take trades pre-market, but if you were looking at this trade here, pushing up into those highs, right? The crack down below this trend would give you the confidence to push that short.
Order filled.
All right, so now we are popping a little bit here. Delta acting with us this time. Like I mentioned, I'm going to look to see if I can get up through VWAP this time. I'm not going to take one off at VWAP. I'm going to trail the whole position as we move in our direction. If we get to VWAP, I will pop my stop to even. And then as we get either through it or reject it, then I'll make a decision on if I'm going to place my stop up at VWAP or not, or when I'm going to place my stop at VWAP. If I could just buy myself another trade, buy myself another trade, buy myself another trade. So that's an area of interest right there, 48, right? That's why I wanted to take my stop up to there. So right now, unrealized, up 350 on this. I think we can get through VWAP this time. If we can just kind of break through VWAP, I will put my stop right there at the base of VWAP and then just see what happens from there. I want to let this thing, give it a chance to get through it. This tells me that it wants to accept into the previous day's range. That's the one thing that I want to see. We're right at that opening range low at VWAP. Could be a good sell point for people, but also could be a great spot for it to just break, pop right up to the high, 664, and then just continue to accept to the high side, right? That's really what I want to see, if there'll be some acceptance into yesterday's range, which it seems like it wants to do right now, right? It looks like it wants to get up in there. I'll get tighter into that stop. If it gets over this VWAP now, then we'll use VWAP as our stop. If we can crack this high, 53.75 would push me to VWAP. It's getting pretty strong. We back into that opening range. Russell leading us high side. S&P is pushing back up. Delta helping us out here. We're right on the VWAP. We need a nice little squeeze push to 75, 53.75. I need to get up there, and then I can put my stop at VWAP. It's accumulating here. There we go. I'm going to get into that being my stop is 360. It puts us back at even for the day. Yeah. So I'm up $20 now. You can see the battle that I have. I probably could have waited one more bit of a candle here, but I feel like take my money and run on that, right? If I would have just done that a couple times, I'd still be pretty green on the day. We're even. You can see we are copy trading these two accounts. Trading a bit more than normal, but we are looking to get this past right? So just like thinking through this, a pop above 54 should give you a little bit of a squeeze up to 64, which is the opening range high. If it fails this VWAP, rotates back down to previous day's lows, you might get a choppy day, but you also might, hell yeah, Charlie, well done. Well done. We are here on Friday looking to pass a couple combines, just get ourselves back into the groove. Like I mentioned, April, we ended the month off right, up about 4,000 for the month of April. Took our withdrawal. After that withdrawal, we kind of fizzled out in May and just kind of kept taking hit after hit after hit after hit. Then we took one oversized losing day, trying to be a little bit too aggressive, I guess, in the market conditions where I knew there was no reason to be so aggressive. Drew myself down to a point. I have enough days to take a payout, but I have not enough money to take a payout off of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a couple more funded accounts. Hopefully you guys could follow through, learn how to get these funded accounts, and then leverage them against each other to be able to, double and triple up on those payouts until we can get ourselves put into a live account with Top Step. I think that's the goal for me, is not just XFA, it's to get into those live accounts. Hell yeah, let's get it. I think you could pass. I think you could, if you have the right mindset to it, good risk management, understanding the reason why you're getting into trades. Like I said, I could take a couple losers, a couple winners, and then one really good winner gets you into a good day. If you're up, let's say your challenge, Charlie, what company are you using? What combine, what challenge? Funding traders? Gotcha. Are you out of the U.S. or are you in the U.S.? Is that one of those CFD challenges? Argentina. Very nice. Cool. Welcome to the show. My wife is from Paraguay, so neighbors. Yeah, out of the U.S., the CFD firms and stuff like that, it's worth taking. However, a lot of those CFD firms are shutting down for U.S. residents. So if you are in U.S., look to try and avoid some of those CFD firms, the firms that are offering FX stuff. But like I said, out of the U.S., still good. U.S. offering quite a bit of, yeah. No, yeah, absolutely. Some of these accounts, I think a lot of them are good. I think they are reasonable. They're just shutting down for U.S. traders based on a lot of regulation stuff and kind of what the U.S. is trying to. Yep, FTMO I've heard of as well. I was funded by FTMO once in the past when I was trading Forex stuff. I was funded by FTMO, Fivers. I've been funded by Apex, Top Step. I've kind of just fell into the Top Step architecture. I really liked what they have going on. I'm not affiliated with them. I do have an affiliate link. I don't really make money or anything on it. I just use it to help share the Top Step with everybody. I'm also with my coffee company looking to partner with them. So any kind of way I can show that I can drive traffic to their site does help. If you are looking to, we just actually got great news. Day Trading Coffee Co. We partnered with Lightspeed, the brokerage Lightspeed. So if you are looking to trade equities at all, Lightspeed, the brokerage, we have the best rates you could possibly get through Lightspeed. Minimum account balance of $5,000, which is unheard of. Fantastic commissions and all that, and then 3 months free of the actual brokerage itself. So if you want to get that, let me know. I have a link to the. I'll share it in here since I have it. Where are we at? I need to get to Evan, and I go here, and yeah. So here's our page, copy link. if you're into trying to do what Deck's doing over there with shorting stocks and all that stuff, use code COFFEE. That will get you the best of the best rates on Lightspeed that you could possibly think of here. This is our affiliate, right? We are now partnered with Lightspeed, one of the top end brokerages. When I was a professional trader with T3, I have my license, Series 57, all that stuff. I was trading on Lightspeed. It's the best platform. Executions, fills, everything you could ever imagine that you want to, look at the commissions per trade. $3.90 you're saving in monthly fees. Options contract only 30 cents a piece. Just use my code, click the link, open an account, and you'll be on your way to trading just like Deck and just like AK and even like myself when I get back into equities. Right now I'm sticking with the futures and for the time being, but I do want to offer myself the opportunity to get back into the equities markets as well once I have a time, right? I can only do so much right now. And, with a job, all that stuff, looking to build this up as a business. There's that nice rotation that I was talking about, up to 71 3/4 or 71.50 is what I think is a good area for you to start looking to take a little bit of profits off at least. That was a really nice push. I got trailed out here. Where did I end up getting trailed out? My stop was 49.50. So 49.50. Basically took it right off at VWAP. Once we got up in here and just kind of fizzled out this little bit here, got me out on that. But needed to get back to even, which is cool with me. We will watch the overnight highs for a fade, right? I was looking for this to come into play as an area of interest for me to fade up into 75. I like it as a short, but I need to see some confirmation. I need to see a reason why I'd want to short at 75. From this level right where we're at, 65 to 75 is a good short area for me. So like I said, that area is a good area to look for targets, but also at the same time, it's a good area to look for entries. Yeah. I'm going to put it in the alerts. That is Lightspeed. The reason I want to partner with these brokerages, as far as what I'm doing, it's less so for the affiliate, whatever they do. I don't really care about that. I want to promote the best opportunities for traders to be out there. Like I want to make my money trading. I don't want to make my money off of people buying stuff and whatever. I want to provide you opportunities to get into these things and be able to trade at the highest level that you possibly can with no excuses. Just get into this and be able to change your life to the way that you want to do it, right? So for me, getting these affiliates and getting these things is providing opportunities to people who may not necessarily have it. And also with the coffee company, part of my mission is to use a percentage of our proceeds to put into our funding fund. I'll call it the funding fund because it's the name I gave it for now. I may change it. That's why I put quotes on it. But a percentage of my profits is going to go to the funding fund, and I'm going to try and give out cash accounts as frequently as possible, right? So for me to be able to make money selling coffee, stuff that people buy every day anyway, might as well, funnel them into our quality coffee beans, our quality roast dedicated to traders, but also put some of that money back to the people who are buying the coffee into trading accounts to allow them the ability to grow as traders without that pressure of, I don't have enough money to trade it, so I can't. So with a little bit of proof, not that I'm going to become a funding company, but I'm going to give back. And through Lightspeed is one of the main ways that I wanted to do it. So partnering with them, being able to put cash in an account and give an account to somebody is really where I want to get to. But I got to prove concept. I got to prove that people want to use these brokerages, and we'll click through my link. So if you see the link, just click through it. That at least shows them I have some traffic through to the website. I'm not trying to sell you on anything. I think it's a great brokerage. I think it's the best as far as locates for shorts. If you're doing Deck's course there, that's what he uses. He uses Lightspeed for all his executions. So 30 days, if you're looking to catch shorts, Lightspeed's going to give you the best locates, right? We're starting to get this nice little bit of tightening in the price action as we grow up here. We got a 75% tilt. I like it short through 65. So I may front run it through 60. No, I'm gonna short it through 65, through 64.50. That's the bottom end of that wick for me to be interested in it. If we get all the way through into the overnight high, I'll be even more interested there. But tilt being 74% is interesting to me. With this delta going straight up as well, I mean, everything here told me long off the bottom, right? That's why we tried it a few times. We got stopped on it. We made money. We got stopped on it here. So we went up, we went down, and now we're even. Or we were up, we were down, we were up, or we were even, down, and then now we're even. We're just past even. But this higher low in price diverged from the lower low in delta. And then the fact that price just continuously didn't want to go any lower, you could tell that it didn't want to go any lower unless it cracked this, and it didn't, right? Then you start to get the creep up in delta. You start to see more aggressive buyers coming in, stepping in here. And on this candle right there, you could see an increase in delta, another higher, creating the same kind of congruent behavior to push through here. Easy target to the VWAP. Yes, I may, the last few times I've gone to even. I've took one off and gone to even. Could have did that this time, but we just secured what we have had the whole day, and just now looking to, potentially catch a little bit more. But say per contract, you're up another 540 if you leave that runner on. $75. It's an area of interest. So if I get a wiki top here, something that's going to tell me that it wants to short through 75, it's a cheaper short there. Willing to take that risk if I can get one more pop up, maybe into that VWAP band, even into this upper end of this this yellow line here, this trend line there. If we can get some sort of wick test, come back down through 75. I like that short. Microsoft still kind of creeping upside. NVIDIA running right into resistance at 939 once again. So NVIDIA with its overhead resistance could add the confluence to our short idea. Heavier long tilt does give me the indication that it wants to. Maybe we can get the S&Ps to get up to that 53.26 and just sell right there. And we won't get this to the other, next level. But I said 75, probably high end of this. And then selling from 75 makes sense. I'm going to sell through 65 because that's the low end of my little, zone, right? I didn't want to get triggered in right there. That's why I put it down below 65. Hopefully to not get triggered unless the price just dumps off and melts hard. Want to wait. 73% long. Tilt is creeping up, telling me that the shorts want to come back into play. Can I get delta to play along a little bit? Can I get one more pop-up? I want one more wick test. If it doesn't wick test, then potentially the rotation comes in anyway. Russell's leading us downside. All right, we're short. Should probably be risking to the high of this. It's a little bit more than I want to risk, but I'm going to do it to appropriately manage this. There's the break of 65 and the flush to the downside a bit there. We're up 240 on this at the moment. We'll go to even. If it's going to whip us out, then we're going to get whipped out. But I like the short here.
Order
I'm going to stay out for now. Stay at break even. If you have a little bit more risk tolerance, you could let that ride a little bit, but I think we get one more push to the high side before we get that flush. I want to see this thing kind of come back into that 70, give you a lower high, maybe retest this area, and then short through the 65 again. That's really where, because the long tilt reprieve happened there, so potentially looks to rotate back up. That quick little hit there would have been nice to kind of just grab a little piece of that, just based on it. But I think that a heavy sell comes in if we can just wick this high. Right, if this can push into the high here, into this VWAP band, into this yellow area, give me that wick and keep delta low. If I can keep the delta down at this bottom end here and continue to show us heaviness while price is ticking up, then I could look for the divergence there. But the Russell is really selling off, so I like the Russell leading lately. And I forgot to put it in the YouTube, but Day Trading Coffee Company has partnered with Lightspeed. Use code COFFEE for your best fee structure. There's that wick test, push down, flattening out. Delta starting to try and creep up. So price, I want to see it creep back up. I want to see price get higher relative to Delta. Give me that price up into this short zone. I'm going to call the short zone the 75 to 80 level, but I won't short until it comes up through 75. And then rotates back down through 71. So I won't enter above 71.50. Tilt creeps right back up to 70% long as we approach this area. This is, to me, like I said, an area that I'm interested in for shorts. If we can get back up over, get heavy tilty, get Delta to do exactly what it's doing. That's beautiful. Very nice. You can see it here. Delta divergence on the high end. Below 65, I'll sell to. But as it creeps up, I'm going to start to creep it up into that 71 area. 71 could just end up being the high right now. Right, the 71 right here could be the high. Gonna take the break of 65. Yeah, Delta pushing heavier. Willing to risk it this time again. You see the Delta diminishing, price attempting to make highs. That's usually where you run into your sellers to come step in and take over. But also at the same time, if it pops an area, it gives you a nice little wick off high. That's the best. But a lower high, it works as well. Secondary push right here. Right? Delta still remaining on the lows as price trying to push up, push up, push up. Get me back to VWAP. That's going to secure you another 250. If you can get that first contract off, then see how far you can take it to the downside. I just look to revert. I'm a mean reversion kind of guy. What are you going to do? Nice. Good push. Good push up into 71 again. One more time. Delta trying to creep up a little bit. So maybe if we get a break of this level, you do get a slight pop in Delta, but I don't know if you'll get a new high. That'll help us out here. I would like to get a wick off high here. That would be my ideal scenario. Wick off high into that 75. And then a short through 71. Gives me more confidence that this is going to go. There's a push. 71 still acting as that overhead resistance. Break and hold above that little trend line there. Hell yeah, good job. Good job, Ray. Good job. Got a little side text about it. I like this. Delta creeping up, price creeping up. I need price to wick off that 74, 75 area up into here, and Delta to remain on these lows. And like I said, I'll short through 71. Currently, I already have a stop set below, because if it does give me a heavy failure quick, I want to be involved without flipping over. Russell creeping down again. This Delta creeping up, kind of just, especially like I said, Fridays tend to get like trendy. But sometimes they do get tight. On an all-time high week, I don't know if I trust it not to hit off on all-time highs on a Friday. But if it does give me my setup, I got to take it. The lack of follow-through on the break like this kind of gives me more confidence in that idea. Let's see. NVIDIA did break above 939, so that could be something that's holding this slightly from doing what I think it could be doing. Get another push up. $73 long. Delta creeping up with price. They're not super aggressive buyers, right? You can tell they're not like those expansive big green candles that you saw before. Expansive, pushing, push, push, push. You're running into more resistance. Price just made new highs. Delta made a lower high here. So there's that divergence. It's not like very whippy up here, so price isn't quite speeding up or anything like that, which is very interesting. The tape is starting to tick up a little bit at this level. A cheap short from 75 down through 71. Didn't get a wick off high, which is interesting. So possibly looking to just cleanly reject the 75 level. Russell still holding above 21. I want to see this thing melt from here, to be honest with you. Even though overnight highs are so close, I find this area to be an interesting level for resistance. There's a bigger push, 73% long, heavier on the tilt. There's a bigger Delta candle, and price didn't go with it. So kind of like that too still. Showing me more sellers. Didn't quite get to that VWAP band. That's slightly disappointing. Could get me triggered in and not go. But realistically, I do like this short still from this area. I want to see a heavy Delta come in. I like a sell through 71. So if it gets triggered in, I'm cool with the risk to the high.
Order filled.
Didn't go. Holding 71. Delta pushing downside. Price still lingering here. This could be the wick high and then the rotation. So it got me involved at 71. This price has sped up. You got a little bit of people involved there. Maybe stop them out. Hopefully then now you can run it. It's probably going to give you a hard wick to the high side, stop us out, and then run us right down. I will re-enter if that happens. But I will take my stop here because I don't want to get run over and completely blown out. So that's really, if it breaks through that, it should kind of keep going. Nvidia not following through upside wise, so possibly look to get this fade to come in here, but I realistically think that we get tagged. 73% long. Very interesting. Delta now trying to push higher with the price, so kind of getting us a little bit out of this, but I'm buying the ticket, taking the ride, right? Let that wick do its thing. Hopefully maybe we can get down back through 75. There's the heavier pressure. That was heavier. I don't know if that's going to be a wick test to grab some shorts and then pop us high side, but it looks like it's confirming what we want to happen, right? A rejection of this level multiple times, start to get a little heavier. Nvidia starting to sell, so hopefully we can get this thing back to VWAP. This is what I wanted to see before I got entered, so it didn't quite happen. I didn't wait. I got bottom ticked, but hopefully now that this is going to give me the opportunity to get this thing to continue downside now that we've done it. And then if it comes out and pushes us out, then it's, confirming that it wants to continue higher and we don't want to be involved. But you can see Delta acting in our favor. We're still getting heavy. I think if we get through 71 again, should continue to sell. Still heavier long on the tilt, so still okay, I think, with a short idea. I have a limit buy at VWAP if it just wants to melt off fast and trigger me or fill me down there. That'd be great. But looks like it's trying to hold that 71. Come on, crack 71 here. Crack it. Give me a heavy flush down now. Give me that heavy flush here. If it gets through 65, we'll be at even. 65 is right here. Nvidia just breaking through that 939 pretty... Well, it's acting as support now. Let's see if it can get through it. It's holding, right? 939.11. Come on now, get through 65. Get through 65 here. Give me that heaviness. Hopefully we can end the Friday with a nice little flush to the downside. I've been waiting for this to happen. You want this to kind of crack here. You want that level to crack. If that level can crack on you, you get the heaviness to come in pretty quickly. If it holds, then you may get another rotation higher, get stopped out, and then it pushes back down. But you can see how heavy Delta is. Price is trying to hold up, but Delta is trying to pull us down. So there are aggressive sellers here at 75, like I thought there would be. It's just a matter of if price will follow through or not. And if we can get through this low down to 65, like I said, I'll get to break even. I'm willing to risk to the high, take this full loss on this because, obviously you can see that there is some interest at this level for our play to kind of play out. Nvidia tried to hold 939, so it's waiting there. I think if this cracks, Nvidia goes, and then Nvidia goes, then the whole market goes. There it goes to 65 right there. As I mentioned, if I get to 65, I got to go to even, just based on the break point. I think if 65 goes, VWAP comes, or hopefully we can get through this 62. Oh, man, that's a nice little pop off of 65. Yeah, we're going to get stopped at even, aren't we? Ooh, come on, baby. Yeah, we're stopped.
Order filled.
Stopped at even. Like I mentioned, if 65 comes in right there, bang, right to the target of 65. Had to get to even because I think maybe you get another leg here to push us back up. And there's that stronger push. I think just the lack of follow through on that. That's my bullish bias for the day, kind of taking over and not allowing us to get into that level. The 65, you can see if that does go, that's probably where you're going to end up seeing a nice little actual push, right? Something through here, you'll actually get a nice push. This may wick the high, get up over 75, and then look to get people involved again for the long side, get this tilt heavy long. Maybe at the overnight high, we can get the same type of setup. Break down through this 65, gives you a heavier push again. Price pushed right back up into the highs. You see how low delta is. You are diverging there. I think this 71 level is a really nice place to play with the levels. No harm, no foul there on a break even. NVIDIA didn't crack the level, so it's still just kind of holding the level. If NVIDIA can't give it up, then we won't be able to give it up. But Microsoft getting that 420 level to hold. If 420 breaks, then I'd say Microsoft also helps us to the downside. 5 minutes till the close of this candle. If 10 o'clock comes in, I want to sell one.
Order filled.
There's the heaviness. You see how heavy that got there? I was selling one there. Let's see if we can get through this low here. I'll add a stop sell through that low, and I'll buy one. You know what? I'm not going to add to it. Microsoft turning back into the that's the opening range high rejection. Hopefully we can get through that level. Add a second, back down through 65 again. Up to 71. I'll add a second here, then I'll take that one off. Limit buy here. You got the wick bottom on delta and on price, so there's a chance that this gets stopped out. But I pulled my stop. That's the reason I went in with one contract on that first entry there. That was a very fast move, kind of like very whippy. But price still feels like it wants to get heavy through this level. I don't trust that it's going to go fully long, but also at the same time, we're not getting a ton of follow through on these breakdowns that we normally get after a few touches like that. But if we do get through it again through 65, I'm adding a second contract. Hopefully we can get one contract off at VWAP and then see where we can go from there. That really doesn't increase our risk, right? We're willing to risk 155. If I get on a second contract, I'll pull that stop even tighter down to 70 because that shouldn't come back again after that pull. You know, after a breakdown at this level, a third time, once, twice, three times, trying to get through it, trying to get heavy. I'm taking that next short. Microsoft selling into that, you know, it just cracked 420. NVIDIA is on the top chart. NVIDIA is trying its best to stay above 939, but it's just fighting it. It's not really holding it. There we go. Just broke 939.11. So if 939 gives up that impulse candle there, 938.36 at the bottom of that, if that goes, then we can get some heaviness. Look at how heavy this feels, right? This feels pretty heavy. Feels like if it does crack again, we'll get a second contract on. Like I said, it's not increasing our risk much because our first risk was 150. Normally we're risking 300. So on
Order filled.
this to be risking 260 to probably make 260 on this first tag of VWAP, then get the break even. You see how heavy it's getting? The timing of this all, everything with Microsoft, with NVIDIA selling, you know, the delta acting in your favor, 50-50 on the tilt. You know, we could get into that VWAP, at least maybe even into the low of this wick here. See what happens at the low of this wick. I don't think it should get above that. And if it does get above that, then there's a chance that it just rips higher. 71. Yeah, 71 is my level. Kind of building into this. There's wicks here. Opening range. Wicking that opening range. Wicking the opening range. I think we could fill this wick. I think we could fill this wick. I think VWAP comes into play. If VWAP comes in, like I said, I'm going to take one off. And then see if I can get the rest of it to break even. And after break even, I want to trail to that VWAP if I can get through VWAP. This is heavy, right? This is very heavy from a high level of where I was interested in. NVIDIA is holding below 939. Microsoft pushing into 419.27, which is a support level. However, 420 was pretty supportive and it flushed. So 420 flushed. I think we can push this a little bit lower. It's relatively not going fast enough for me. I like things to move quickly in my direction. For this to not go yet, you know, it's kind of concerning, but I also don't want to hammer out because I feel like if it does get heavy, it'll go fast. So there we go. A little bit of pressure to the downside. Here we go. Does this give us that final last little break of this level? If it does break and not hold, we're going to just get out for $100 because that 65 level should hold now with this kind of flush. If it's not just a liquidity grab, right? Delta still pushing heavier downside, still pushing. If it gets back above this area, you expect a squeezy type action. And now we just broke through that low. So should get us down to VWAP. Should. Doesn't mean it will. But we're still willing to risk that 110 to get down to VWAP to manage to take out some of this money off the market. Let it get to the VWAP area. There's the heavy flush. All right. We're willing to. Now we broke through that low. We're going to get to break even because if it comes back and whips us up, probably stops us out. So if it can confirm and hold below that wick, then we can at least get one off at VWAP, right? Didn't get to VWAP. Didn't quite get there yet. I will be willing to pull one off there at that bottom end of that wick if it gets it.
Order filled.
All right, so we took off one there. Secured myself 160 on that. Let this thing ride down now. See if we can get to VWAP, get down below VWAP. Just the whippy action around that key level there was just concerning to me, so I didn't want to not take at least a little piece off there. Get through 52, 10 o'clock here. All right, so we'll secure a little bit more on this, half. Let's see if this will get through VWAP and start to melt for the rest of the day. Get through VWAP, get through 41s, 48s is the bottom of that opening range, right? VWAP tagged, could have secured that a little bit. You can see how VWAP acts as that magnet. We always use it as that first target. Today, on that one with the whippy action above this bottom wick, that's why I took a little piece off there. But now that we're flushing VWAP so easily, I think we can definitely get through the previous day low. Now it's a fast move, fast trail type play through VWAP, right? If we can get to previous day lows, then I'm going to trail down the previous day lows. At the moment, I'm safe above VWAP. If it pops its head back above VWAP, then we're out, and we're cool with that. But we're looking to secure this win one trade at a time, every single day, one trade at a time. When I trade like this is when I'm at my best. The most comfortable. Maybe I don't have the biggest P&Ls on certain days, but at the end of the day, I will walk away green on a day like this because I like the way that I can see price action. We're playing our levels appropriately. We're using our trails the right way. And as things move in our direction, we'll start to trail it and secure some more profits. If we can get through this low here, we should get to previous day lows. If we get through previous day lows, then let's see if we can get even further down. What do I need to pass? I'm at 52. I need 900 more. So 900 more from here. I'm going to go above that candle. You know what? No, I'm going to stay above VWAP, stick with my VWAP, stop, get through this previous day low. Hopefully we can flush into overnight lows. If we can flush into overnight lows, then I should be safe to pass this first combine and then get ourselves an XFA back fresh and green for Monday. There we go, pushing into previous day lows. If we get through it at all, I got to put my stop right here. That's really what I need to see happen. Get through it, get through it, get through it. If it can get through the previous day low, I'm going to go over this candle, give it a little bit of breathing room. There's the tag of the previous day low. If it's going to pop it now, then I'm going to be out. But securing as much of it as possible through that previous day low. You can see, I'll talk you through why I wanted to short up there. And I don't understand how you couldn't see it. Oh, fuck yeah, baby. Let's go. Give me this short. Give me this short. Let's do it. Come on now. Green, baby. Let's get it. Come on now. Short stop at that previous day low. Now, as far as we can go, is I need another, let's call it 650-ish. So this target down here would be past combine. And then we'll have another XFA ready to go for Monday. If not, I'm not going to look to force in that next trade. I'm going to look to just kind of see what happens the rest of this session before I have to leave and head to work. But I like that short from that high to continue us downside for quite a while. If I get stopped out above this previous day low, I'm okay with that. We're good with this. A nice little 643 there went, and I'm going to flatten all, make sure everything is good. So we're just shy of $800 away from passing. Nothing too crazy. That trade there netted us 480, 580. It was basically what we have here. So 643 because we were at even, right? So yeah, a nice little $600 move there. We could have passed if we just left both contracts on, right, and then trailed it all the way down. I just needed to secure a little bit. I'm never mad about taking a little bit of profit off and then letting one runner go. Trading two contracts is usually my sweet spot. Once I get into a little bit of drawdown, I try to pull back and get into less contracts. But you can see previous day low, great out right there. I was going to go just above that candle. But once you flush that low, you got to secure right into that level. Levels work, levels work, levels work. I'm going to tell you exactly why I took that trade. We'll go break it down for you. NQ1. Here we go. Alrighty. So I'm going to switch over to my trading view chart so you can see why I took that short from the area that I did. Why the long was interesting from down here, and then why the short was interesting from up here, right? So if you only took these two trades that I called out back to back, you would be up pretty good on the day. I took my first one off. I trailed differently on this one because I just wanted to get myself back to even. That's just kind of just do you on that. I took my two guy long here on the Delta divergence, right? Delta was pushing down so heavy and price just did not follow through to the downside. We came back down again, supported it. Delta tried again, didn't do anything. As you started to see Delta creep back up, we broke through the high here, the previous day low. You'd still seeing higher lows on Delta. You came back here, another higher low. Delta decided, all right, there's a lot of, oh, sorry, wrong one. I'm on this one. There we go. Can you see this one? The NQ chart now. I'm going to go back to this for now. All right, so breaking down this previous trade, and then we'll go back to the one before it. Last night, I got home from work, probably close to 11:30, 12 o'clock, and I drew up this liquidity zone here, right? We pushed up into this area. Let me make sure I'm on the right chart, just so I'm talking about the right thing. Okay, yeah. So we pushed up all-time highs, did all that stuff, right? This is where we ran into that major resistance level. That 16,877 has always been a level of mine, since the previous highs and whatnot. So I've used that level as a lot of confidence. I figured that's where we're going to slow down. Obviously, we did. I used the bottom wick from this pullback for that next break of the high as the base of the liquidity zone. And then I pulled it up into these wicks here, base of this candle. So from 665 up to 75, that's where that zone is. You can see, yesterday we pulled back into this area, wicked it once, wicked it twice, bounced. Add some confluence to this area. Once again, you came into it, wicked it on Thursday, wicked it, bounced from 65, bounced again. Overnight last night, well, actually not overnight, but right before close yesterday, we pushed right up into that 687 level, the level that I've had for some time now, right? Stopped dead on a dime right on that level right here. Stopped dead there, turned around and flushed right through our zone. Overnight session last night, after 7 o'clock of 1700, we popped up, came back, cleaned this gap up so that gap was non-existent. We pulled up right to the bottom of that zone, the base of this candle here, sold off. Came back in again, didn't quite make it, sold off, pushed up to 75, never made it through, sold off again. Looking to do it one more time, grab liquidity. You see this rising type wedge pattern that I really wanted to short this. I didn't get on the charts. I had to bring my son to school around this time, and I didn't get here back in time to execute the short pre-market open. And usually I like to execute on market open, so I wanted to wait for this to maybe come back into here to short it. But what do you know? 75 level came in. You got this rising wedge, and then we flushed from there. Usually you get that type of flush. You're going to find some resistance, find some liquidity below. Where did you find that? Some of these overnight levels. Yesterday's previous day low is what we've been playing, right? So previous day low has been the area of interest, right? So we got there, we wicked it. We showed lack of follow through. So we popped right back up, but we didn't pop up in like a very aggressive straight up move. Yes, these are 5-minute candles, 5, 10, 15. It still took some time to get there, right? So you got this diminishing wedge. We creeped up, we grabbed the liquidity, stepped right into that 75 level. And this 75 level here, what is this, a happy face? All right, happy face short there. Right at that high, getting into my level. I said I wanted to short 65. If it gets over 75, I want to short 71. Why do I want to short 71? Well, this is 71 right here. You see it's the high end of this breakdown candle. The first candle here, that breakdown, the top end of that is 71. So usually when you get to cancel out one of these bigger bodied, explosive, expansive candles, there's either stops here or whatnot, so you can clean those out. And then once you re-accept back into there, that same type of seller is looking to get back in to do what they were doing. So I expected better follow through on the move if I could get above 71 into my 75 level, risking to that 75 to pull myself back down into those previous day lows and hopefully into the overnight lows and potentially by the end of the day down into this 588 key level that I have. So 600 to 588, that purple zone that I have drawn up here is what I'm looking at for that ultimate downside bounce play where longs possibly will want to step into the market. So Charlie, now that you've seen it, you understand it as far as why I kind of talked that through. That short there, and anybody else who's watching who maybe didn't see the short or maybe I talked about why I wanted that short there. And then also with Microsoft, we were up above 420 right as I was in that 75 zone. So above 420 as we were in 75, I said if we crack 420, you're going to start to get a flush and then down into this 419. This is a key area for where I consider bounce plays. So I wanted to see Microsoft start to flush this level, which it did. That plus NVIDIA got above this 939. We wicked it right at the same time that we were trying to short this. It came right down through that 939.11, and then you get that big heavy flush through the pre-market lows. It may come back, try and retest those pre-market lows. With earnings next week, I wouldn't be surprised if it creeps down as well, down into those 918s, giving people a better opportunity to buy up next week when they get that chance. So that's why I have that thesis as far as NVIDIA is concerned. But we're back here on our chart. We did execute the long here. I mentioned that as well. So hopefully everybody made some money on those moves. A couple $100 away from passing this combine, the other combine I'm copying. It's just a brand new one. Obviously, it's only up 643, or it might even be up a little less. Let's see what it's up. 638, but it's still green, still one day closer to having 2 more XFAs. So now you just got to watch. I watch Delta a lot. You see me switch back and forth to charts. When I come into this chart, I have things plotted out. Opening range, I have the VWAP with the bands. So they have an upper standard deviation, lower standard deviation. And then I have my volume profile here. This is where I show a lot of my nodes. You can see where executions are, point of control. If we go back to when we were in the CPI number with the pullbacks, you can go back and review that day that I had with the CPI number. We were talking about how there was these volume nodes, and that just because the candle looks like it executed at all these levels doesn't mean that it actually executed at all these levels. And I showed how, there was a 1, and then there was a whole blank space where there was no contracts executed at all, and then another couple 1 and 2s, and then it breaks and it skips. So a few orders get filled there. That's why there's a lot of slippage at times with live accounts, because orders aren't getting executed at every single price point. Price is just getting executed at the next level, at the next bid, at the next ask, and it's just kind of rolling that way. So that's kind of a little bit of a breakdown there with that. I'm going to start to do little education videos here and there. We did have something planned with TradeCaster, so I didn't want to front run that until I know for sure either we are doing it or we're not doing it. And then I'll start to develop a little bit of training videos. Nothing that I'm going to charge for, but just to keep you in touch with what my strategy is all about, why we trade the way we trade, why I use the levels I use, and why I have these specific indicators that I do. I like to keep a very clean chart to trade on. Yes, I'll draw up something like this or something like this, but that just kind of adds confidence. And as I have them, I take them off. So you can see very clean as far as the chart is concerned. Charlie, I really appreciate your interaction. It's nice to have people that come in here, ask questions, come in, even just mention that they're following or not following what we're doing. Obviously, I could always tell when there's more people in the room or less people in the room. We have been growing pretty well in here. We kind of fluctuate between this number that we're at now up to 50s plus. I'm just trying to grow the community slowly but surely, not trying to sell you anything. I'm just trying to help you out in your journey with the futures market. I also go over other equities, Mag 7 names. I'm going to start to grow my my base of things that I trade. Currently, I have a day job. I have kids. I have a family. I usually stream 8:30 till 11 every day. As things change in my life, I'll be able to add little elements to what I trade. If I want to trade some more equities, I am going to get into Lightspeed, get myself another brokerage account since I do have the new partnership with our coffee company. And like I said, I want to start giving back to the community. As we make more coffee sales, we'll be able to go into the trading fund, the funding fund that I've developed, and getting everybody opportunities to have no excuses but to make money and change their lives, right? And that's what the goal is to give back to this kind of community and not try and take from it. Everybody's trying to take. I don't really want to take. I just want to make sure you have some good coffee to drink and have money in your trading account so you can trade and live the life that you want to live wherever you want to live. I know Charlie's in Argentina, so you just get your coffee from there. We're not going to import beans, export beans, import beans, export beans. It's hard to go international yet, but soon we'll see how well we do with international stuff. Shipping is ridiculous, and customs and whatnot. They kind of take it seriously with coffee, any sort of food products. I'm sure you could be involved in the giveaways. Maybe some of our swag can send that way, but just let us know if you want to order anything. I could try and do it on the side and figure out shipping costs and whatnot to try and limit that. Nvidia still holding below open pre-market lows. Things have slowed down. Absolutely, Charlie. Anytime. I'm really hoping to just continue to provide value to as many people as possible within TradeCaster, within YouTube, on Instagram. If you want to follow me, if you have Instagram, all of my socials, everything that I do is at Policing Pips. So you'll be able to find me pretty easily on YouTube at Policing Pips. Right now, I'm doing everything streaming wise on TradeCaster.com. So if you're on YouTube, head over to TradeCaster, create a free account. get your 7-day free trial, and after that, you know, you can still see my room, see all the free stuff that's going on in here. But currently sitting up 643. I'm not going to force anything in yet. I'm going to wait to see if I can get another setup here. Right now, we're kind of just lingering around VWAP. We're at an indecision point. There's a lot of executions that go on around this area, and if you're not going to get smooth moves like the ones we took here, this one to the upside, this one to the downside, then I don't really want to be involved because it doesn't give me the opportunity to mitigate my risk right around this area. You know, if you can get that move, then you can at least cut to previous day low or overnight low or whatever. But right now we're just sitting at pretty much point of control. Point of control is right here. VWAP's right here. Everything is flat. It's Friday. We're right dead center of opening range. The lower third of the opening range for me. You know, just overall cumulative delta not doing much, just staying flat. So right now it's just a good reason to know when to be executing, know when to be looking for opportunities, and know when to stay out. Some people use VWAP as an entry. I use it pretty much as a target. I know you're in TradeCaster. Everybody who's commenting in TradeCaster is in here, but I have a stream going on YouTube as well. That's kind of how I link the stream into TradeCaster. But anybody that's in YouTube, I always tell them to come on over and create a free account. TradeCaster is a fantastic community. You have tons of really great traders in here, and you're only going to find trading. You're not going to go in have to worry about ads, and you're not going to have to go and worry about, you know, skimming through who, you know, you don't know who you're getting. If you come in here, every room has what they trade, when they trade, their style of trading. You know, you can come into my room, learn futures, you can learn levels, you can learn divergences. You can go into Deck's room and you could short all these small cap stocks. You can go to AK's room, same deal. Just looking for some of these plays to play out. There's some options rooms. You got Buddy who's doing everything, futures, stocks, options, whatever you want to do, he does it. So don't be afraid to come on in here. If you are in YouTube, there's plenty of things to access. If you're on YouTube, also hit the like button, subscribe, all that jazz. If you made money today off of any of the calls, leave a comment and let me know how you did. Realistically, this is the best we could have gotten out of this. I could have squeezed a little more out of this move here by taking that first contract off at VWAP and then trying to run it up to 71 like I talked about, 71 being that ultimate high target. I just trailed out both contracts based on certain drawdown rules that I had in place. So I just wanted to make sure I secured at least what I had. And then, you know, based on the way it was reacting to VWAP, there was not a guarantee that they were going to break through, right? We were maybe one tick away from staying in. So, realistically, we got out of VWAP. It's fine. You could have maximized that. Break even was 41. So if I took one off and then had one at break even, you could have ran that last one up after you break VWAP again. VWAP, pull back, go candle by candle, probably get stopped out somewhere in this range here, 661. So you're looking at, it's easy enough to just go to 61 here. Probably get stopped out right around here for another 205. 41 to VWAP, 195. So realistically, we probably would have came out on the same dollar amount. So it works out either way. As I mentioned before, more people stepped into the room, more people came into YouTube. Daytradingcoffeecompany.com, daytradingcoffeeco.com. I sell coffee to day traders, freshly roasted on order, but also at the same time, we just finalized our partnership with Lightspeed, the brokerage. Fantastic, top of the line brokerage. When I was trading equities with T3, I traded using Lightspeed. It is the best locates for shorts, cheap, here we go. Cheap equity commissions, cheap options commissions. If you use code COFFEE, click over on the link in the alerts. At least check it out. If you click the link, it just shows to them that I have people coming in, just taking a look at what they got. I want to show them that I have volume. The reason I want to partner with them, not because I make money off of affiliate, right? If you open an account, it's got, normally they want you to open an account with $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. We have an advantage here. We can let you get in with $5,000 worth of equity, which is really, really a fantastic deal with this. But I don't want necessarily to partner with them because I want to make money affiliate wise, right? I want to partner with Lightspeed because when the coffee company starts to grow and I start to give those profits, a portion of the profits, 10% of the profits, I'm guesstimating about 10% in that range, I'm going to start dumping into brokerage accounts and giving them away to traders. That's my goal, and that's why I want to partner with Lightspeed early. If I could show them proof of concept that people want to be here, people want to come use their brokerage. Yes, I trade futures. Yes, I use Top Step. But by using Top Step, I leverage my ability to make money out of here. As I pull money out of these accounts, I want to start putting money into equities accounts. And when I do that, I want to put them into Lightspeed. Lightspeed's top of the line broker, fantastic support. Nothing but good things to say about Lightspeed. And if you go into any of these rooms here where they're trading equities, they're executing most likely with Lightspeed. You got AK executing on Lightspeed, making $1,000 a day every morning for the last year, shorting crap stocks. And you got Deck doing the same thing with the short locates being so good that you're just absolutely able to just crush it in the shorts. So while Deck's teaching that short course, I would definitely advise you to grab one of those Lightspeed. Use our code. Get in there. If you have $5,000, just get in there and start to learn the program. Start to learn the features. Get used to it. Start growing that account slowly but surely. And then once you start having that capital, use that stuff that Deck's going to teach you about shorting to your advantage and start making some real good money. Here in the futures, you can leverage futures as well. It's all good. I love trading futures. I'll stick with futures until they don't exist. And I don't think that's going away anytime soon. I think the industry is growing. The more competition, the better. Right now, I stick with Top Step. If you want to trade with Top Step, let me know. I'll send you a link. Like I said, I'm trying to just show proof of concept that I can provide value to these companies so when I do want to start giving away combines, start giving away accounts, then they'll be more interested in allowing me to do that. So I do think that if you guys want to have that, just make sure you comment. Head over to daytradingcoffeeco.com. Check out the site. Let me know if you like anything about it, what you don't like about it. Click the link for Lightspeed. I know I haven't updated the website yet. I will do it today. It's going to be, the link's going to be on the main page there for Lightspeed. So you're going to have that as well. See this, after we caught that full bit of that piece, right? I got in at 71 down into 39. Caught that. Now you have just flattened out. Everything is kind of just chill. Like I said, VWAP is just straight flat. No directionality. Lack of volume. Volume has diminished. We're getting into lunch hour on a Friday. I'm not opposed to just not trading anymore the rest of the day if I don't get near any of my zones that I am interested in shorts or longs or fading some of these levels. That's just, what I'm okay with being up 643 on the day. I don't need to pass today. I can pass Monday. I can pass Tuesday. I have a funded account, although it's drawn down to a point where it's pretty much untradeable the way I want to trade. Realistically, I want this to just be I want to get back into a good groove. I want to be able to have more than one account ready to go and show you guys that it's possible to just continue to do it. If you lose an account, as long as you take a payout, it was worth the money that you paid for it. Obviously, for me, I took my $800 payout on that account and then just kind of drew it down from there. May just has been it's a tough month to trade. I think a lot of people had a difficult time the first week. We've maintained the account as best we could. Unfortunately, just haven't quite got through it as much as we wanted to. We have 30 complete trading days. You like the hat, the gray one? Let's see, this one right here. This one. This is our main hat that we have. We also have a black one that I have to figure out it's on order, the black hat. So if you do order a black hat, it does become a longer lead time. But the gray one I have it here. I'd have to check shipping prices to Argentina. Argentina, I could send a hat. I'm checking the shipping prices. UPS. Ship from. Where in Argentina? What's your postcode? I want to try and check and see. Oh, the Bulls and Bear ones? Yeah. I definitely have to order that one and get a few in stock. But as I have them, I can order them and get them made and sent over. I just got to check and see how much it costs. Let's see. Trying to figure out how much it costs to ship to Argentina. Right here. Possibly could get it there for you. You'd have to pay $16, $20 in shipping. But if you want it, let me know. I could do it outside of the website because the website will block you from from ordering it. Charlie, you let me know. You send me some. I'll send you. You can email me at daytradingcoffeeco@gmail.com. You can email me there, and we can have a conversation about trying to ship internationally, trying to get some sort of package set up, or some way that you could purchase some of our goods and send it to you over there. We're trying to be as worldwide as possible. Obviously, it's difficult to convince people to. I had to ship coffee to Canada, and it cost me like $40 to ship to Canada. So that's why it's a little bit unfortunate. You know, some of the coffee stuff with customs and whatnot, getting international stuff. But as we grow as a business, as things become more expanded, we're going to try and be able to cut deals like some of these other bigger companies do as far as shipping is concerned, and be able to get our coffee to people all over. You know, I know Dubai is a huge place for traders. I know people in London, they watch this stream. There's, you know, lots of people all over the world that like coffee, that drink it, day traders everywhere. It's the part of day trading is that you can trade from wherever you want and, you know, be able to make some money. If we flush this previous day low here, I want to see what happens. I don't necessarily want to execute it, but this does give me a little bit of a confidence here. If they can break through this support, could go. But you do have a flat delta. I think you'd still get some manipulation. I think maybe you flip down here and rotate but up. Let's see what happens. Does this crack lead to a breakdown to overnight lows? Right? You got a pop. I'm getting rid of that. Get rid of that. Our delta divergence, I want to try and box it out like I did yesterday for you guys. So this here, yesterday, I drew this up for everybody. We were looking for this at that area. Same deal here. You're looking for delta to also make a lower high, right? So price here, I don't have an arrow key thing. It's not really the best drawing stuff. See if they drawing library. We're looking for arrows. All right. So this is what I'm looking at as far as delta divergence is concerned. Just trying to give a little bit of knowledge here while we're trying to avoid hammering into something right there. I don't have a real useful delta here for this currently. It's kind of just acting the same as price, and I don't really know for sure if this is going to be a bounce or a break. Right now, it looks like a bounce. Right? If you took the long off that area there, you're up to, you can be looking to go to VWAP, but I think that this is going to get heavy here once, twice, 3, 4 times. So just going to talk through this delta divergence, right? You have price going straight up, delta going straight up. You run into that wall at 75. I explained why that wall at 75 was there. So everybody understands that. So running into 75, we got that high there. We anticipated a pullback. You got delta price, wicked off the bottom, same deal, right? Everything kind of happened there. But as price started to creep back up, you could see delta down here creeping down, right? You got price creeping up, delta creeping down. Then you got price continuing to push. As delta pushes, it doesn't give you these big expansive candles until the very top. That gives you some indication. This candle right here, this green delta, actually is on a red right here. Red candle right there, an indecisive candle. Price eventually wicks down a little bit and then makes a higher high, right? You can see that there is a higher high here. It's not crazy. It's not a big higher high. It's not like a blow off top, but you did get a little bit of wick action there. Same deal. You got delta pushing up. Seemed like delta wants to get stronger, but price didn't follow through. It rotated right back down through that 75 level. You start to get heavy delta candles. You got these heavy delta candles. You break through your 71 level here, right? Through this level. Now you're going to get that follow through. Price pulls back up, gives you that pullback, and delta flattens out, right? So it does not follow through to the upside at all. Delta starts to get heavier and heavier. As it exits this box, it starts to bleed off. Same deal, exits this box, gets through your level, bleeds off, and then follows through. So use the delta to help you make some decisions either direction, right? Right now you see a higher low in price. Same deal in delta. You're not getting a real heavy delta. So price is kind of just lingering here. It's not giving you a breakdown yet. You're actually getting a tick up in delta. Does that mean that price is going to follow through to the upside instead and use this as a bounce? Or are we going to follow through to the downside? You're not getting anything that's really leading. Either of these is not telling you, I have something that's screaming at me buy, screaming at me sell. I do think a crack of this probably does lead to the VWAP touch and maybe the overnight low, but it's not something that I'm willing to take right now currently in the market conditions that we're at, right? It's been a very slow, lower volume type part of the day, right? Since we've got this move here and this move here, there has been really no follow through in any sort of move. So you want to get it back to an area that you're really interested in, right? That's the only way that this is going to work, is if you can get to areas that you're really, really going to get, you saw how many times it took to get through this, right? Once, twice, 3 times, once, twice, maybe we push up, here. We'll pull back to it again. If you get that full confidence to break here, maybe then that's when you get the break. Maybe the delta leads you downside, but right now delta looking like it wants to catch a bid, right? So it looks like a bounce play at the moment. This is how you keep yourself in or out of what this might be at the time, right? If it doesn't close below here, delta doesn't push through before price does, then you're not getting aggressive sellers here. You're actually getting more buyers interested than sellers. So potentially bounce. I don't know how much follow through you're going to get based on the way this price action went there. So these are the things you just got to kind of keep in mind. You don't see that on this chart, right? So it's just stuff that you have to keep over and over. Like I said, confluence equals confidence. Charlie, I answered you on the email. All right. So there's a little bit of a crack of that low. It still doesn't feel heavy, right? It just kind of feels lackluster in the pressure that it's got. But over here, this felt heavy, right? You could see the price speeding up as it came down into here. Yes, you get some rejection, and you kind of speed up, and then every time you hit it, you felt like there was something going on here. Right now, I don't feel that heaviness. There's something about feel in markets that it's weird that's kind of how you got to trade as a discretionary trader. Does it go down to this level? Yeah, I mean, possible. And now that you can see delta cracking and getting more aggressive, you might start to see price speed up. So you can see it speeding up here at this low. But is that going to be a manipulation to get more people long? I don't have super trust in this. Obviously, it's a good pattern to play the breakdown of. You can technically limit your risk to the high end of this candle from that breakdown there through the value area low down to the overnight low. But that's something that I'm not really looking to take at this hour of the day. I would rather more so take that it's going to be a range type day, except above the previous day low, except within that overnight range, and then see where it ends up. Previous day highs all the way up here, previous day lows here. We're sitting on the previous day lows, sitting on overnight lows. If it cracks through there could be some support here, but I would anticipate that we close somewhere in this range here, anywhere between this blue and yellow line. I'd say that's probably where the day closes. If we start to catch like a real heavy sell or a real, barring any news, is really kind of what I anticipate for this. If it gets down into 600, that's why I anticipate. I'm not saying that it won't get down into these levels. I think if it does get down into these levels, you'll find a lot of buyers down there. There's going to be somebody here looking to catch a bid at 620 and 600 and see if they can run it back up into here. And I think closing somewhere around 18,640, right where we're at right now, isn't out of the realm of possibility, up into 50. So anywhere between this VWAP and here, if it closes between there, I would not be surprised. Even if it pushes down into 6 or pushes up, I think there's going to be some sort of pullback and just kind of like an inside type close on the day, which gives pause for next week. Like that's kind of like what I'm looking at longer term, like giving next week the idea of what it is. I don't think I'm going to pass this combine today, but I'm not going to be mad about being up 643 on the day. Giving yourself the opportunity to trade it tomorrow, trade it the next day, grow the account day by day by day. That's what you're looking to do. You don't need to make all the money today. That's not how it works. You really need to be able to understand, when you have opportunities and when you don't have opportunities. And if you can stay away from the points where you feel like you're going to have an opportunity, but you really don't, then you'll be able to stay in longer term. Yeah, after today, we went back-to-back $1,000 days on this, so we were up 2-ish, or just we were down a little bit. So on this combine, because I really wasn't focusing on the combine because my XFA had all my focus, but also at the same time I was trading my XFA with a little bit of scared money, and scared money don't make no money. That's how this job works. If you're just gonna not be able to execute your strategy as you see appropriate, then you're not going to be able to make money. And like I said, I think realistically, my strategy plays really well to having multiple contracts on. If you can manage your risk appropriately, where you can hold your profits, hold your risk to what we are holding at, to 250, 300, and then mitigate risk by taking one contract off at your first target and then letting that other runner go. It gives you the opportunity to, on the days that you do have a runner, to maximize your gains. And then if you're going to have a loser or two losers and you shut it down on the day, you can make that one loser or two losers back one day at a time. You could see the slow price action now that we haven't had much going on, right? The grind from the top. I did say I wanted to short the top, which I did. I first took that first trade of the day down to VWAP, up 250. Took one contract off, got stopped out at even, then it rolled all the way over, then bounced, right? Probably would have been passed if I would have gotten that last little follow through on that first one, and then looked for that second entry here. We chopped ourselves around a little bit. We ended up getting that nice little long through here, stopped out at VWAP, and then took the short from that 71 level because we had that real strong conviction on the return back to liquidity zone for the short. Now, based on the way this accumulated, is there a chance that it does come back to it again and try and short it again? There is. But I also think that there's a good chance that we just continue to step downside. But lower volume. Who knows what happens by the end of the day? And like I said, I think we kind of return right back to here. Give me 1 minute and I'll be right back. And we'll close out the day in a few minutes. I'm going to be done for the day. Did you help me? Alrighty. All right. So we ended the week off here. If there's one more opportunity, maybe we'll take it. But I'm looking to probably lock out in a couple minutes here. Got to get to some coffee business. Got to get to work. Got to take care of the boy and the wife until I get out of here. So, like I said, ending the week on a good note, going into the weekend, executing our strategy appropriately. Usually I'm waiting for these overnight highs, previous day lows, overnight lows to trade around, but this 75 level was too much screaming in my face as a short location, so I had to take the short from there, and it ended up working out really nicely. Like I said, it just takes one good trade on the day to get you where you want to be. Now let's call this, if we're doing the copier, right? One account's at 638, one account's at 643. Now you do that in the funded account over and over and over again. $300, $500, $600, $1,000 days. You're doubling your money, and you're really going to start to maximize your withdrawals and be able to work out really well. So now it seems like it's going to get heavy. I see a lot of size on the bid on the time and sales. 13 lots, 15 lots here at 625. A couple bids coming in, larger bids. So there is some more interest coming in here. I'm going to be done for the day, but I like to see what happens with this price action. What is Delta saying? Heavy Delta. Look at that. Big Delta candle down to the downside, pushing through right into that lower band of VWAP. Good little first target for you, potentially looking to rotate into that overnight low. Because if we break today's low, which looks like we're about to... Watching this level, because it's very interesting with that heavy delta to come in and price to run right into that day's low and not want to crack. So watch that day low crack down to overnight low, and then see if you get any sort of delta divergence once you crack through that overnight low. But as I mentioned, I think 600 isn't out of the realm of possibility for where buyers want to start stepping in. 600 down to 588, but also we're right at the bottom end of this. Alrighty, so we are pushing back up a little. All right, as we wind down on Friday, like I said, I hope everybody had a good day today. I hope your week was a little bit better than how mine turned out as far as P&Ls are concerned, but realistically, overall, I think I've seen the market really well. Executions are, have been, but today we really did a good job of executing, managing our risk, keeping our mentality in play, and we are going to get 2 more funded accounts here at least within the next week. I'm not rushing it. I'm going to just take my money as I come and see what we can get out of that. I think that might have been a liquidity sweep through the low, get to the low of the day, bounce off low of the day, break through previous day low, rotate back to overnight highs. Could be the play here with that big push down, lack of follow through, pop back up, come back into that area. You know, you've got this wedge. That was the break of the first part of the wedge. Lower low, lower low. Everything's kind of acting very much together. NVIDIA didn't follow through to the downside. Still a higher low on NVIDIA. Microsoft bouncing off of 419, acting as support. The bullishness in Microsoft helped us out before to take this long. I think you crack this, you probably pop right to 50. But that's just worth it for you if you're looking to take any more. I'm not. Charlie, it was good to see you. I'll be on 8:30 Central Monday. I'll see you Monday. Let's make some more money. Let's get everybody funded. Let's get people into positions where they can take advantage of their life in a better way that they want to be. For me, I will be on here for another 7 minutes. So if anybody else has any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. If you want to message me anything about the coffee company and you're a little confused, you can email me like Charlie did, and we'll talk it out and see what we can do for you. As I mentioned, we did partner with Lightspeed now. So if you go over, click the link and want to learn a bit about Lightspeed and what they have to offer for you as a equities broker, go ahead and over there. It's the best of the best for brokerages. Not going to lie, as far as that's concerned, I loved the Lightspeed experience when I was trading prop with T3. So just be mindful that we do now have that opportunity, and I am going to look to partner with them long term for our funding fund as well. So look for this break to kind of come put us up into here. I'm getting a little hungry. I haven't ate yet today. Let's see if we can get ourselves a nice little squeeze here. I'm not taking the trade, but it looks like it's a nice little play here. It was easy to probably take this from there to VWAP. 41 to 50. Well, at least 51 maybe. You can get 10 points out of it. Yeah, I'm going to lock myself out. Not going to execute on this anymore. We're going to go ahead and lock this one. We're going to lock the other one. Oh, they're both locked. Okay. All right. I think you maybe get a little pop here, but in 5 minutes at 11, we see what happens with that. I don't have any numbers that are going to come out or anything like that at 11 for you. Friday had nothing. Maybe you have Fed Waller doing nothing to the markets. This is just not worthy of trading. Like I said, that's why I locked myself out. We'll secure $643 to end the week. Very good trading today. I hope, like I said, we got a couple new people in here. Charlie commenting, saying he made some money today, got himself green. Everybody's taking some good trades. So hopefully we can get back here Monday, get some more, a little bit more in this account, get ourselves a second XFA. And then the other one that I'm copying, I'm going to look to see if I can get that one. You know, we're only just started that one. This one's about 3 days deep. So we're up 52,246 on this. We were just shy of 800 from passing this account, trying to stick to the consistency rule. So realistically now, if I just pass, it's all good. Doesn't matter how much I make on Monday. If it's over the dollar amount, it's over the dollar amount. We're good to go. So I'll, set a price target for $800 and let it do its thing. Until Monday, I'm going to sign off here. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Do something that's not trading related. Enjoy your day. Take care of your family. I go to work on the weekend. So, this is just a great opportunity to share the weekend with everybody who supports you in your trading journey. And if they don't, then maybe it's time to find new people on the weekend to hang out with. But overall, like I said, great weekend. I'm going to see you Monday morning, 8:30 Central Time. And we will sign off here. I will talk to you Monday. Deuces.